December. December cold anywhere in the world.
Wait, what?
December ain't no hot month. December
Nowhere.
cold just about anywhere in the world, unless you living below the equator.
And it's crazy that they teach us that's when, well, the next month, but that's the when, and at least over here, that's when the year starts. So like everything in nature is dead this time of year.
Yeah.
And you telling me that this is when the year starting over?
According to the Jewish calendar, it would have been spring is when it starts over.
That's when everything come back to life. Yeah, that's when everything in nature come back to life anyway.
The two debates you have theology wise with Christ his birth would be either spring or end of harvest. I lean more towards the end of harvest because that's when you have all your festivals. And that way, if he was in Bethlehem in that city, it wouldn't have been no room for him to sleep or nowhere to sleep because it was crowded.
Yeah.
But if it was December, fam, if it was December, I'm telling you,
it's cold. Ain't nobody trying to sleep.
Ain't nobody trying to kill. He would have had plenty of lodging.
You know.
So now you see that then, and just like with the shepherds wouldn't have been there anyway. And also, you figure the Magi, me and my man was just talking about that outside, man. The Magi didn't come until Christ was walking. Yeah, Christ was like 18 months old.
Amen.
And it's literally in the word, but you get the word twisted up. So Matthew talks about the Magi, the wise men. It was more than 3 of them. It was a caravan of them folks. And they came from Africa to come there because it was guided by a star. By the time they got there, Jesus was already walking. The king snatched them up before, because he knew they was coming. Oh man, listen, man, yeah, man, I want to serve the king too, man. I'm gonna bow to him, man. Yeah, man, you know, y'all just let me know where he at. They didn't know where he was at. They ain't know where he was at. Man, because then after all that, he still, because he set a decree. Oh man, these jokers done found me out, man. Man, now I got to go kill these kids now. Hey, anything under 2 years old, man, I want you killed.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen, you crack open the Bible. I be telling people this, like, not even for like Christianity purpose. I just tell them, bro, just read it. If you like to read, just read it. Like I can read my Bible more too, but I tell people that like to read it, but just read, like, not even again from a religious standpoint. The Bible is full of interesting stories, right? Interesting, what some people might look at as anecdotes, but it's interesting, and it's what you see today. Even though it's like so long ago, it's literally some everything you will see today. Maybe different wording, but it's all.
It's crazy. One of my grandmas challenged me to, when I was real young, to read like a chapter in the Bible, like, or at least a verse every night type shit. And by the time I'll be done, but I stopped short. I ain't gonna lie, but I mean, she gave me a challenge, but I was like, dang, this book is.
Listen, I can tell you this. It's a point of opening up your mind.
Right. Yeah. Not for real.
Yeah. The biggest thing about anything that you read should be able to open up your capacity in order to learn.
Correct.
And to grow. You know, just like we was talking about a little bit earlier, we was talking about the movie. You know what I mean? About that particular premise of the movie it was a mind expansion. So if you expanding your mind with something that, because
talking about Lucy, by the way.
I'll tell a person quick, man, and I'm a minister. I'm actually an elder in the church. So I can tell you, even if you're reading Proverbs, you need to read another book.
Book of Wisdom,
Why do you need to read another book with it? Okay, do you know how ants function? So if you don't know the genealogy or the function of an ant, and when it says that you should be as an ant and work as an ant,
you don't know
how
what
would
that mean?
You know the full capacity?
Yeah, you don't know what that means.
If you don't study what an ant is. You know what I mean? You gotta introduce those things.
There's no more amazing species on this planet and I watch a lot of Nat Geo. I watch a whole lot of Nat Geo. Like, well, ain't no other species as click tight and as productive as them ants is. When nobody,
they move as a unit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's message.
So I introduced our guest today, man. We got well, first of all, welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back. Still fixing
we got, usual suspects in the room. My guy to the far right, Jaytona 4000. How you feeling today, Jaytona?
It's been a good day.
It's been a busy day. Yes, it has. It's been a good day.
We had a couple of losses, but it's all right.
Well, our team only lost once earlier. Yeah, we only lost one. We went 3-1.
Pop it. Savannah Suns versus everybody.
The game we lost was the most important game of the day, though. So I feel like I lost. I feel like I lost all the games.
That's why Sean over looking like that. That's why Sean over looking like that. You can't get pissed off still. God dang.
Actually,
we see it. They see it.
Wins we got. They wins, but
count.
Right.
But we lost.
Yeah.
The team we lost to was the only real competition we gonna have.
And
it's basically gonna be us two in the championship, and that's what we lost with the championship last year.
That means y'all got more work to do.
So, we got way more work to do. But without getting too much into sports, and since we already talking about it, our guys play. They play hard, bro. Basketball, sports teach you a lot about life. And one thing I learned in life, my daddy always just stressed this: it ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
That's it.
We started strong, but we did not finish.
Damn.
We did not finish.
Did not hold that titty.
The scoreboard reflected it. So
I gotta hold that titty.
Another chance, another day to get better.
They learned from that loss for sure.
What I told you, Shaw. That's a learning experience.
It definitely was.
That's all you can do.
Bro, think about the amount of times your mom and daddy cut you behind. He like, you know what? All right.
They still gonna get it. Like, hey, they not out the shed yet, brother. Cause listen, like I told you, JU was at practice Thursday.
Oh yeah,
brother. Greg was at practice Wednesday. I stressed to these kids, brother, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is what y'all gotta see. This is what y'all gotta look for. This is what's gonna happen.
And they went home and played Call of Duty. They ain't heard none of that.
Bro,
shit you
listen.
said.
Told them the other day, cuz.
That's
Boy, listen, we get these opportunities at the rim, bro. We gotta finish our layups.
Man.
We gotta finish. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. Man, listen.
But this the thing, Shaw, that you gotta remember. Because think about it, when we was playing, we didn't miss layups on purpose, cause they missing them not because they mean to miss them. It's a mental thing, it's a muscle memory thing, and that's what I keep when I tell them, like, fellas, y'all missing because y'all out of control, not because y'all can't make layups. Y'all out of control. Which all of us keep telling them that. But a lot of the stuff what I play, we coach 8 and under.
Facts.
So we got a lot of our team just came up from 6 and under last year. So some of these kids, they second, third year playing organized basketball. Some of these kids, they first year playing organized basketball. And so that's why, as a coach, you take a lot of patience and understanding, because albeit you could tell them all day, you can get them a perfect script. Like, bro, if you do exactly what I tell you to do, we will win. But
that is why you gotta have.
That's a lot easier said than done. Like,
that's why you gotta have assistants. Cause I swear to God, like you just saying that.
He would have flew off the handle. Look, he was ready to quit. Look,
man,
I ain't no ready to quit, but I be ready to
ready to
strangle somebody.
Because grab the kids.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Exactly.
Get in there. It's wild.
Exactly.
That is me.
A strong
I'm not gonna.
Nah, they need, bro. Like I said, losses really do teach you a lot.
What is that?
Whose juice is that? Then why you?
So why you got it? You just gonna tell you a thief on camera? You came to the camera with it. You could have asked that from the door.
I mean, it caught my eye.
Dragon fruit?
It was literally just right at the front door. So
You brought that? Ed?
No,
That got it.
I ain't going front.
Right at the door.
That look like the that look like the little potion that turned Mr. Clump to Buddy.
Right. You know what, y'all? Might be what we need. Then one of us could dress out in the next game if we take a sip of that.
Okay.
take this secret for
One of us could dress out next game. We take a sip of
Them
that.
little niggas won't miss no layups.
But no.
Buddy
So
love.
Yeah, finish introducing.
you guys already heard me and Shaw talking. Yeah, we don't need no introduction.
Your guest,
But
nah.
our guest for today, man, guy I've been knowing. Ed, I don't even know. I don't remember when I met you, Ed.
Man, that was probably about 2011.
2011.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
I'm about to say Cam ain't nothing but 15.
I'm dating myself here.
Yeah, you gonna
That's
date yourself on that.
10 years.
Yeah. That's a minute.
But no, we got a guy that I definitely look at like an older brother in the house tonight, man. A person I love having conversations with, because you can have a lot of non-judgmental, just real talks with this man, bro. So we got my brother. I call him Brotha Ed.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Brotha Ed in the house tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling today, brother?
Man, I'm feeling beautiful, man. I tell you what, man. I'm just really grateful, man. I'm just grateful for life.
Yes, sir.
Just for the invite itself, man, to be around this young energy, man, is beautiful for me.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we happy you're here, man.
Yep.
Keep low. I feel like we started recording late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had some good.
We apologize for that.
No,
We apologize for that.
but see, that's
I
the
mean, like, as far as him being here,
yeah.
shit we done talked
Oh, y'all
about.
could have cut it off before I got here.
And still waiting
He
circumstances.
chock full of knowledge, man. He chock full of knowledge. So So before we get too deep into the conversation, brother, tell the folks a little bit about yourself, man.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a little bit. I was born and raised in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Yo, I'm gonna give a shout out to Jersey Cats.
Shout out Jersey.
Shout
out Jersey.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I actually moved down here, man, in '96. Man, I was about 25, 26 years old when I moved down south. I moved to Augusta first.
Okay.
One of the reasons why the whole transition for me was the fact that I was trying to escape something that I didn't change me. So what I did was I realized something that was really crazy was the fact that anytime you try to move or do a geographical cure, like, yo, man, I was wilding out when I was up top, man. I was doing any and everything. I was banging, I was selling dope. That's all I did my whole life because my people was like that.
Did.
So that's what I fell into it, you know what I mean? So when I moved, I was like, well, man, I'm gonna make this decision, man. I'm gonna just bounce. Man, if I get away from here, I'm gonna be all right. But what I did was I met me right where I left to. So I took me where I went.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I got here, I found me. You know what I mean? Because there was no internal change in it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So the only thing I did was change the environment, but I got right back into the environment.
Same old habits. You ain't changing
same
any
old
habits.
thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like just jump the ship and going to a whole different state.
Just going a whole different state.
Yeah.
So before I left, I know I had the prosecutor's office looking for me. My door got kicked in.
So you was on the run.
You know what I mean? Y'all was on the run. You know what I mean? So
there was no choice.
What a vacation. I was ready to go. You know what I mean? Yeah, they was coming at me. And
What they call it, a timeshare.
yeah. So it was like, I talk about this often, man, when we start talking about certain stuff, man. Like, my life was a series of events. Like, I started getting in trouble when I was like 12. You know what I mean? I was doing juvie time, man, when I was 12, 13, and 14 years old. I'm catching
you were doing?
grand theft autos, assault and batteries, dope charges. You know what I mean? I was doing grown man things. You know what I mean? So,
I think we need you to come talk out. Like Grand Theft Auto, boy, what's my favorite?
It's New Jersey Drive.
I swear to God.
Hey,
That's it.
Hey, real fact too
That's it.
about that. I'm glad he said that about Jersey Drive. Real fact, man. They didn't even film that in Jersey.
Where was it?
They filmed it in Brooklyn. And the reason why they filmed it in Brooklyn because the mayor at that time was James Sharp. James Sharp didn't want Newark to look bad, even though he was stealing all the money in Newark. You feel what I'm saying? That, like, you know what I mean? That's a fact of what was happening, man. And them dudes used to wild out, man. They used to wild out. They used to wild out, man.
Oh, yeah. The movie was goddamn
it was
hand in hand, like.
Yeah, it was. I mean, to live through it, man, it was a lot. It was a lot worse, man. I used to watch. Now, these is for my cats that's ever been up in Newark. They'll know what I'm talking about.
Newark.
West Kenny and High Street. They call it MLK now. I used to be right around the corner from Utah Chicken. Right. So I'm telling you, man, a lot of them cats, man, would go. Man, the police might be at the corner. They go and bump the police car. Boop, boop, just so the police can chase them. That's when they started doing that task force. They was wilding, man. Wow. Well, listen, they was wilding.
Y'all boys seen Jersey Drive?
Them niggas did hell no.
I was gotta go watch New Jersey Drive, brother.
Y'all the same age, not us.
What? Oh, you closer to his age than ours. Of course you saw it.
Tell them, bro, like New Jersey Drive is just like Boys in the Hood, Blue Hill Avenue. It's a classic, brother. Like that's a classic.
I gotta watch that. I'm down.
On my list of things to watch. Okay, so let me ask you this. So you talked about how you moved down and you still was kind of doing some of the same stuff. So at what point was it, or how long did it take you before you really realized, all right, bro, I actually gotta make some changes? How much did you have to go through before you realized, like, okay, I can't keep doing this, or else I'm gonna waste my entire life? You
know what? I had the mentality that I really didn't care. So I can tell you this, man. I'm gonna go back real quick and then I'm gonna come right forward. So when I was in grade school, I was probably about around that age, that 12, 13 age. Matter of fact, a little younger, it was 11 and 12, because I was in the 7th grade. I remember my teacher telling me, he was a vice principal, his name was Mr. Harris. I used to always get in trouble, so either we was riding, we was fighting, you know what I mean? I was selling weed in school and the whole 9 yards. So what wound up happening was,
how much an eighth go for?
Huh? No. Hey, but you,
Different times.
Really, the prices was different there. Even the Coke prices was different.
Yeah, don't try and tell you.
You know what I mean?
I heard.
In New York, man. Yeah. I could do a gram was going to cost me about $19 a gram.
That must be cool.
You gotta be talking that blue.
But see, you had some exotic weed, man. But you didn't really. New York wasn't really known for that area.
Slow
for
money.
That real exotic weed. You know what I mean? But you had the chocolate tie. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was up on Springfield.
See, that nigga.
Yeah, so in Riverdale, he done been around now. So it was, he right on that. But not that to put it in perspective. What he told me that day was he was like, "Yo, man, you're gonna be dead before you're 17." Mm-hmm. Most of the cats that I grew up with, man, I looked forward to that. So for you telling me that,
badge of honor,
it should have scared me.
Yeah, right.
It should have scared me that being 12 years old to hear that you would only live another 5 years. Yeah. That should have been like, nah, man. Oh, I don't want to do it. I want to change. Man, I was like, yeah, all right, and what? You know what I mean? At least I'm gonna go out in the blaze of glory. That was my thought.
I'm going out like a G.
That was my thought process. So what wound up happening years later, once I got here, you would think, man, oh man, you done been through all these tragedies, you done been locked up, you done did this, you done did that. You got a chance to change over. I got to Augusta, man, and started doing the same thing. You know what I mean? I did finally get a job, but it wasn't really it was piecemeal work.
I mean, it's a lot of trouble to get in Augusta.
So yeah, it is. You got to remember, Augusta, Savannah, and Atlanta is the biggest cities in Georgia. You feel me? Those are the three big. So it's going to be just that fast pace. I found the same kind of people. I wound up pulling the robbery. The robbery that I pulled back in 2002, and that robbery took me to the point where I got sentenced. I got locked up. I was telling the brothers, man, because I counted it down. I did 9 years, 2 months, 18 days, and 16 hours in the Georgia penal system. You feel me? So what actually changed for me was a biblical story that I remember. And it's crazy because I don't know if most folks know it's in Luke 16, but it was talking about a certain rich man and a beggar named Lazarus. Mm-hmm. The beggar that was at his gate, the rich man drove past him. But eventually the rich man died and was buried. Lazarus died and was carried up. And the story talks about how the rich man opened up his eyes. He was in a place of torment, and he looked over, and a great fish golf and seen Lazarus in Abraham's bosom. He was like, "Hey man, can you send Lazarus to dip his hand in some water, man, cool me off, man. I'm burning up over here." And Abraham was like, "Nah, man, it's a great fix off. He can't come over there." But the reality for me was the rich man didn't know. He knew, he was a believer at one point. You feel what I'm saying? So he knew what he was and was not supposed to do on this side of life. He did it anyway. He chose to do what he did to wind up where he was, not thinking that the person that he would disregard it would be somewhere that he wanted to be. So for me, it was the reality came in. It was literally like the sun shined that day. It was like, yo, I woke up and thought about all them people that had prayed for me, like my grandmother and them, my mom. We talk about, man, your grandmother praying for you, but I watched my grandma Matt. You know what I mean? This was my great grandmother, man. She used to always tell me when I was little, like, you ain't bad, because everybody called me bad because I always had a lot of energy. Oh, you ain't bad, man. I love you. You a good kid. You just got a lot of energy. I saw her over there. When I saw her, she had no cancer, yo. You know what I mean? She was good. She could get up out the chair. She could walk. You feel me? Yeah. I saw my grandfather, man, who changed his life up, man, and he don't got no tools or. You know what I mean? He breathing on his own, you know what I mean? Ain't no cancer ravaging his body. I saw my kids over there, yo. And for me, what would be the greater hell to spend the rest of eternity? Check this out. See, they would never know that I'm over there, but I could see them for the rest of eternity in paradise, being somewhere where I wanted to be. So at that moment, I woke up. I was like, yo, I got to change something. I can't keep doing this. Because if I keep doing this, man, this is what's going to happen.
Right, this is what I got.
This is where I'm going to end up at.
This is what I have.
It ain't even a point of being dead. It's the point of while the energy is still in me, that eternity, I'm going to see this and never can do it and never could touch it. Because ain't no repentance when I get to that point.
That's real torture right there. Like, just living with what you done at that point. Like, man, I had this chance to get it right, that chance to get it right, that chance to get it right. And like you say, the Lord give us all free will. Like, you know what I'm saying? To make your own decision. Like, people are like, well, why would this happen? If there's a God, why that happen? Because human beings have the decision and the freedom to do as you choose.
You just gotta face some consequences. You just gotta be ready to face some consequences. Man, you can do whatever you want.
My daddy used to stress me and my brother, like, not even on some biblical challenge. Just in life, like, bro, if you big and bad enough to do it. But understand, everything you do comes with consequences. Science, they tell you every action has an equal or opposite reaction. Same thing. You know, nothing different.
My thing is, like, how was you feeling before you went to do that? Like, what was your mindset before going?
Like most niggas,
I want to hear from him. I want to hear from him. I don't want to hear from y'all.
No, I was asking.
He's still upset.
2002. And that's like my favorite year, 2002.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
I always said 2002 was my favorite year. So I was thinking, like, you was how old, Ronnie?
Oh, 2002, I was 31. I had just turned 31. Yeah. I just turned 31.
Peak male existence for a black man.
Yeah, for a black man. Yeah.
I'm almost
out my 20s. Like, grown. I thought I was grown. I'm real.
See, I can tell you during that time, man, because the story that I told you before about the dude Pimp Daddy Mike.
Pimp Daddy Mike.
Real quick, I can say, I know it's
cream corn.
That's what we called him, Pimp Daddy Mike. Shout out to his people, man. You gotta say the whole thing.
Yes,
wait a minute. Like a pimp daddy pimp back.
You cannot say mine.
All right, Cat Williams don't get it.
Every time.
It's Pimp Daddy.
You used to call him PDM.
Address me as such.
Used to call him PDM.
So, you know, the thing about him was he had gave a statistic, man. I was just telling the brothers, man. I said, you know, what wound up happening was, you know, I got up to my thing where I was hustling real good, man, moving my own packs. I was 17 at the time, was 89. This cat, I had him hustling for us. It was two of us. It was me and my partner. And this dude, man, back in the day was paying us $20, $30 to just say 5-0. This was 83.
12.
So I was like 12 then. So, you know, I was really fresh in the game. It seemed like everything had came full circle. So when it came full circle on that, he gave me a statistic and he said, look, man, you know, all the cats that y'all knew growing up that was getting it like I was getting it, 30% of them dead. He said the other 30% getting high off a product that was worse that they selling now.
Off your own supply.
He said the other 30%, them crack commandments, I feel you. So the other 30%, he said all of them doing over 5 years, they habitual offenders. They've been in the game long time. He said, man, but the 10% that actually changed, he said you don't see them no more. Because they left everything, but they changed their mentality was the most important thing. So when you ask me what happened, what wound up happening was I became the same fiend that I used to serve. And at that time in my life, I was at one of my lowest points. I was getting high. And I was like, look, man, but the one thing about me, I was always aggressive. So I'm like, man, but I'm going to take this. You feel me? No, I'm saying, I mean, for real. Yeah, I'm going to take this.
I ain't no shit. All right. Ain't no bitch in me.
I'm going to revert back to me. Hey, man,
one thing I know how to do is take something.
You know what I mean? So I knew how to do it. And that's what I actually did. That was my mentality. My set was, man, I'm about to go do this thing. Man, and listen, it's so crazy because when I committed the crime, it was I had a co-defendant. The police don't know I had a co-defendant. They tried to associate it with it. But see, I'm an old school type cat. So if you catch me, then you caught me.
They don't got us.
I can't tell on him.
They don't got us
because you ain't catch him.
I hate that they got us, nigga.
Yeah. They got us. You come out now.
They got us.
Say my name. Get your ass back.
And see, it goes vice versa, man. Because you know, if we got some work now. And you get caught up with this work.
Come on, now.
You know it's your work.
That's yours.
Hey, yo, you better take this charge.
That's like today's equivalent of somebody getting in your car with something. Like you can't ride with everybody type shit. Yeah.
You didn't tell me you had that on you.
Come on, bro.
Don't expect me to.
Come on, bro. That's not mine.
I didn't even know you had that.
I didn't even know you had it. Funny story, man. I had that happen to me when I was in high school. Cat named Universe. You know, I was a 5%er back in the day. I was a 5%er. So my attribute used to be Shadi, which means self-savior, he, Allah, divine, equality. That was
my been a deep brother.
Yeah. I mean, but that day, I had an enlightener, and you know. So anyway,
nigga, a priest.
We're doing that. We're doing that. I remember we was up in the park, man. We got these packs, man. We selling it.
Come on, man.
The narcos rolled up. When the narcos rolled up, we had some dirty narcos anyway. This one particular narco now, I done put my stash up now. My stash ain't nowhere near me. He got his with him. So when the narcos rolled up, this joker dropped the stash
This yours?
in front of both of us.
Yes, it is yours.
You feel
Hey.
me? So, you know, the narcos rolled up. Man, bro, I promise you, this is exactly what I did. I picked it up and hit his chest. Boom!
Thank you. That's yours.
Yo, the police. So when this one police guy got out, and I knew he was a dirty police. Crater face. That's we have names. Yeah, we go ahead.
Dirty cops up north, bro.
They got names.
Dirty cops all over. But them niggas is
They filthy, man.
I don't want to
I'm telling you,
start
they
talking
filthy.
about the dirty cops down here.
Yeah, they filthy,
Yeah,
man.
hell no.
They
It's a
filthy.
dynasty thing.
But
with
nah, I
these.
ain't gonna front though. Up north, the gun laws is real strict.
Oh, yeah.
10 years in New York, boy.
Yeah.
10
They gonna ban
years.
They will.
Yeah, they
I
gonna ban
remember
it.
being young, thinking to myself, how did Plaxico Birds get all the time for shooting
Oh yeah.
himself?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
He
gonna burn
shot
it.
himself. I'm not
Yeah,
going
we
to
supposed
prison
to-
for this. But now that I got old, like you
You
said,
shot yourself and you.
you got a gun on you.
Yeah, you got a gun? That's you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, step into our
Step
courtroom
in,
for
put
a
your hands on
second,
your back
please.
for me.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm bleeding.
Come on, man. I make millions a year. I could pay y'all. Yes,
I
all
can
right.
pay y'all.
Tell it to the lady. Tell it to
Hey
your
man, I'm about to
CEO.
die right here, man. You gonna lock me up?
Tell it to
Yeah.
your
back,
CEO,
so that's it.
jailbird.
That's
Nah,
it.
continue.
But you know, that was the whole mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can tell you that, you know, when you've experienced what I experienced, especially when I caught that charge. This last charge was probably my most severe charge. That was the longest bid I did.
Yeah.
Other than that, the last bid that I did that was close to that was about 27 months. You know what I mean? That was for a couple of dope charges. I had gun charges.
Sweet. Right, on God.
27 months. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
2 years.
yeah, that's 2 years.
2 years and 3 months.
Hold on, wait a second.
More than two.
So
2 years and 3 months.
Carry
this
the
might
two
not
is
be a smart question, but in ways, you know what I'm saying,
okay.
they are successful. Was your robbery successful or unsuccessful? Even though you still went, did
He
you
went
get
to
some?
prison.
Some people still get something out of it, bro.
Right, you right,
Some
you
people
right.
still get something out of it.
Right.
You right.
Yeah,
Statute of limitations.
Money is still stashed.
what's crazy is this. Yeah, you do got a statute of limitations. What's crazy is this is that the first robbery was good. The second one was the one I got banned for.
Sheesh.
The first robbery wasn't even,
Should have just.
Gluttony.
but the second one was the
Gluttony
one I
is a
got
sin.
banned for. And I got banned. I actually spent all the money and everything.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had
Bought some
spent everything.
shoes.
Yeah. It was, I took a weekend.
Don't even tell me.
Yeah, no, it took a weekend. Listen, you got to remember.
I think about some Adidas.
I can tell you what's really crazy is because any of them cats, because you know how y'all call jokers unc
Yeah.
and pops.
Yeah.
You know a lot of them cats that, you know, if you know that they done did this dope thing and they starting they on the other side of it, they getting high. So I'm gonna tell you what a lot of problems with that is, especially when it comes to that crack cocaine, is the fact that it was never just the drug. It was everything that was associated with it.
Come on, man.
it was
I got here.
It was the women.
Who brought it here?
Wait, it was the women for me that would do it. You feel what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it was a lust thing. You got to,
Because we be talking about that. How often? How many men we know that have really gotten hooked on these drugs?
Yeah.
Like seriously, and you know what most of them will tell you? Well, I was messing with this girl.
Yup,
and
that's
she
it.
One bitch.
That's it. Yeah,
That is
that's
how-
it. And that's how it started off.
got on these drugs.
Yeah.
What? Come on.
Yeah, listen, and
not
it's so
blaming women, but
it's so
I
crazy
am.
because for me, like in the beginning, anything you practice at, you gonna get better at. But in the beginning,
Thinking about an old head. I'm just thinking about an old head.
Bruh.
Man, my life ain't been the same after I met LaWanda.
Come on.
Wanda.
Brought that powder around, boy. I ain't been the same since.
Wanda, Whitney, Houston. Keep going.
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
it's yeah.
Whitney's a national treasure, don't you?
Yeah,
She got, and she
A high national.
yeah.
Now what I'm trying to tell you. Now what
I know.
Yeah, she was doing that a long time.
Listen when I'm trying to learn you
Yeah, she was
something.
doing that a long time.
I know it.
Yeah, I mean,
Out.
a lot of people don't like to talk about certain things, man, because it's even you start realizing what
Now let's
The
get to R.
truth
Kelly.
They don't.
is scary.
They don't want to tell you
man.
the truth.
The truth
Right.
is
You know.
scary.
Now let's get to R. Kelly.
Yes,
No, whatever. No. Skip.
Said R. Kelly.
Hey, yo.
Keep him out of
Hey, yo.
He ain't got nothing to do with this.
Not the pop.
Leave him where you at.
So, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Ed. How do you, when you look at just the things you've been through, which I kind of feel like I know, you know, where you're
Yes, sir.
going.
Yes,
But
sir.
when you look at what you've been through, and then the current state of the black youth, we just keep it there. what troubles you the most about looking at what they doing and the things that like you said, bro, our people have already gone through a lot of what these kids are perpetuating, but they don't understand, like, bro, not only don't you have to be doing these things, there's no real need, like, bro, we done did that and done that and done that. Yeah. So how do you feel about it? Basically my question, how do you feel when you look at the youth today?
Honestly, man, the way I look at the youth today is that the potential that the youth have is astronomical, but it's the ignorance that's keeping you held down. That's one of the reasons why I started this apparel company called Knowledge, Wisdom, and Understanding.
Pop it.
Because that's one thing that I talked about more than anything else.
Yeah.
The thing about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Yeah, you hold it up. This is the family brand. It's the family brand. I actually got my
y'all nigga know what though.
My wife, my daughter, and them is all involved.
Come on, man. But
this is how you come to the podcast. Got that merch.
This is how you come to the podcast.
That's it.
Episodes in a row, y'all so
yes, sir. Got the QRS code on there.
And the past two people have been their first time. We had people come on here 2-3 times, ain't brought us nothing.
Yeah.
We appreciate the merch.
We definitely appreciate it.
We got to thank you cards in there.
For sure.
Yeah, we got we got
sales about to go up. Sales about to go up.
We got the thank you cards. We actually got the QRS code on the back of
I see that.
You know what I mean? So you could just scan it. You know what I mean? It'll take you directly to our site.
To the source.
And I can tell you, man, I'm grateful to that, man. But I like I said, man, the youth today, man, there's one of the main things that we talk about with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is the fact that we perish because of a lack of knowledge. That's a scripture
and
that's actually spoken in the word. But I want to give you a good definition of what we look at as knowledge. Think of knowledge as a car. Think as wisdom as the gas.
Right.
Your destination is understanding. So you have to understand that without the knowledge and wisdom, you can't go nowhere. So if an enemy wants to attack you, and I was telling my brother earlier, man, if an enemy wants to attack you, you know the first thing he's going to do? He's going to kill the knowledge. So I relate that to the man. He's going to kill the knowledge. That's the seed bearer. So he's going to kill the knowledge. He's going to corrupt the wisdom. What do you mean by corrupting wisdom? He's going to implant in that wisdom, who's the seed carrier, his understanding, because that's what she's going to birth. She's going to birth his understanding and not yours. So when you don't have a knowledge of self, you don't have a basic knowledge of self, you cannot enact wisdom. You will not have no type of understanding. So you can't live.
Yeah,
facts.
You can't live like that.
Yeah.
And after a while, you'll start seeing that what's happening is, if I condone foolishness, if I condone your ignorance, and I give you a reward for your ignorance, you know what you're going to do? You're going to do just like Step and Fetching in them back in the day. I was doing that, sir. That's what's happening, because what's happening, it's nothing new under the sun. It's just on a different spotlight now. Because I honestly believe that this generation is a lot greater than mine was. Because you have more knowledge. But you gotta use it. You feel what I'm saying?
I always say, man, the difference that, like you were just saying, knowledge and wisdom. So what's the difference?
Yeah,
knowledge is the awareness of something. You know something exists. You are aware that it's out there. Wisdom is being able to apply.
That's right.
That knowledge. I always say, like, a smart person can tell you, oh, a tomato is a fruit.
That's right.
And that's, if you research it, research will suggest. But a wise person know, if I'm making a fruit salad, I don't cut no tomatoes up and drop it in here.
That's right.
That's gonna taste terrible.
That's right.
It's, you know what I'm saying? So it's knowing things and then being able to apply those things.
That's a fact.
That's for life you live. Like you said, one of the things that I love using this analogy with black people, because, like you said, this is when I first realized, this is when I first saw those that lack knowledge perishing. Bruh, it's no secret that gentrification happens in all major black cities.
Oh man, most definitely.
And so the knowledge is not knowing when these folks coming in your neighborhoods and your towns, realizing, bruh, I need to be making sure I'm paid up on my property taxes now. I need to be going to these city council meetings, seeing what they saying about the eminent domain coming in.
That's right.
Because the knowledge that it's a greater power that exists getting ready to move in on where I live is coming.
It's coming.
If you don't know that, bro, I'm not paid up on my tax. These folks can literally, they don't even got to say nothing to me. They can go down to the courthouse, and before I know it, I'm out. I'm gone.
Damn.
I'm gone. Eminent domain, same way. It's only so much you can do about eminent domain, but you got to go to your local Congress meetings, city council meetings, to voice your opinion and let it be known, bro. We don't want that, to vote against that. Because, like we saying, the knowledge is basically Knowledge is knowing something gonna happen before it happens. Essentially, you got to know what's going on before it physically start happening. Because once it start happening, it's too late. It's too late then.
Go into the definition of eminent domain. What
eminent domain? That's like, okay, when a big company move in and say, bro, we about to build this big factory. Case in point, Hyundai building a big factory up 16. Gonna be the size. It's gonna be the size of a small city or two. Might be the size of Bloomingdale or Cooley.
Yeah.
That's eminent domain. So that's when a big company come in and basically just say, bro, we want this property, and nothing is there to stop them from getting it. They got the money to buy it, so they essentially telling the city, okay, we gonna buy this property from y'all for X amount of dollars, and y'all gotta move them folks out. Damn. Same thing happened up and down 21 a couple years ago when the ports expanded. A lot of it used to be way more houses up and down 21. All them people had to move.
Damn.
All them people had to leave, and they don't give you that much money. They give you $20,000, $30,000. These people done been there decades.
They built memories.
Raised their families there.
Can't pay for memories.
Intimate domain, to give it in a more simplified way too, is the fact that there's a Fuel Pro that's right there on the corner. Or what's that? Augusta? Not that Fuel Pro. It used to be another Fuel Pro that was down there off of off of Bay Street. You know how you go past Hudson Hill?
Yeah.
All right, you know where that, it was a Fuel Pro that was right there.
Right to the right.
Right there to the right. All right, now that Fuel Pro had been there years. What happened with that Fuel Pro is that why it doesn't have any pumps no more? Because the city declared it eminent domain.
Oh, yeah.
So what they basically do is say, hey, all right, I got this investor, this big company that's going to invest in my city. I'm going to tell you that it's more important for this to happen than for you to keep this. So I'm going to take it from you.
Right.
And I have every right to take it from you. And
you
can't do anything about it. I can legally take it from you. Yeah. Now what I can do is pad you up. Hey man, I'm going to give you this little bit of bread right here.
$20,000, $30,000.
You take this bread, I'm going to take it from you anyway.
Crumbs, right.
So you want, and that's what they used to do back in the day too. With that 40 acres and a mule, where we had a lot of the black country. No, we had a lot of black cities that was really prosperous.
That's crazy.
You know, we just passed I think that was January 16th or something was the anniversary of what they call Special Field Order 15. We talked about that on a couple years ago on this podcast because that meeting happened in Savannah, Georgia.
That's crazy.
General William Sherman met with a number of black leaders in Savannah. Because what happened was, okay, so there's, and it's crazy you brought that up. A couple nights ago I couldn't sleep and I was just up, I don't remember. I think I looked up Savannah. I just went on Google and typed in Savannah 1867. Right. Because I know that 1867 is when the Civil War technically, 1865, 1867 when the Civil War ended. So I read something about how a bunch of the Union troops, which is who basically slaves from the South fought with the Union because the Union was defending for people that's listening and don't understand, how the Civil War went. Most slaves that fought in that war fought on the Union side because the Union was defending us, quote unquote, defending us. One of their generals, as they were crossing over either Richmond Hill or somewhere in South Carolina, essentially they was crossing over white troops and black troops. When the Union, it's the Union now, they got over. And I forget, like I said, it was a wee hours in the night. Y'all know how I get when I can't sleep at night. I just started looking stuff up just to help me go back to sleep.
Story time with Cam.
One of the generals, basically how we got drawbridges now, they called them something else back then. But after the white troops got over, he pulled the drawbridge up. And what was happening was the Confederate army was on their tail. So he pulled the drawbridge up and left the black troops across the river. So a lot of them died jumping in the river trying to get away from the Confederate soldiers. A lot of them got killed. But for the ones that didn't and the ones that was able to talk about it, they made a big deal out of like, bro, y'all know they did us dirty. Like, I thought we were supposed to be on y'all side.
Right.
Yeah, we were supposed to be cool. Like, I thought we was helping y'all. And so, enough uproar was made about that. And that was basically the reason why Special Field Order 15 happened. Because William Sherman was like, man, listen, you know what? That wasn't his call. It wasn't his call. I forget the drawbridge and all that. It wasn't his call. But he was like, you know what? Y'all right. That is wrong. So I tell you what. From Charleston, South Carolina, down to Jacksonville, Florida, St. John's Island, so really St. Augustine, 40 miles inland, we gonna get it, bro. It was so much. This literally makes me mad when I'm riding through the country and I be looking at all this land.
So much.
Really supposed to be ours. I be looking at all this land.
That's crazy,
bro. So he said, okay.
No, it's open land.
They get paid not to use it,
brother.
When you put it that way, damn.
To Augusta, Effingham, all that shit.
Come on, man.
All you see is
40 miles
big ass cotton fields And fields on top of fields on top of fields.
That's a fact. Ain't nothing but grass around that bitch. For real.
Steaming. So basically,
maybe a little house in the back or something like.
Oh, brother, the longest driveway ever.
Oh God,
the driveway is damn near 100 yards.
Oh God.
After William Sherman, I forget what happened to him. Like during Reconstruction, so either he died, or he got sick. Somebody else basically took his place, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's dead. That's not happening. That's not.
Fuck
that's
that 40 acres.
Yeah,
I know what he said he was gonna do for you.
Yeah, forget that. Because some black people even got the land. Some black people already started getting the land and the mule. The mule was having to work the land, but after whatever happened to William Sherman, like I said, you do your own goals.
New deal.
Essentially, like get all of that, undo that. That's not going on.
Enough of that shit.
Yeah, that's not going on.
I know what he said.
That makes sense.
He ain't me. I ain't him.
We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
That's crazy.
And this is you know, because it's educational. This is why I say that this is one of the greatest platforms
I'm
that
today
you
years
can
old.
have.
Yeah,
is to be able to be educated enough to have and know, you know, what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you get a lot of cats, man, they'll shoot from the hip.
Oh, yeah.
They gonna say
And you can
something just to
tell.
be saying it. You try to fact check them.
Yeah,
like,
brother.
Man, that ain't
Don't
true.
ask
there
no
are
questions.
bronze statues
Yeah.
downtown Savannah that will explain everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
When y'all walking downtown and you see them bronze statues,
Read
stop
it.
and read a few.
Read a few.
Stop and read a few. You'll
Yep.
be surprised at some of the stuff you see on them.
What's that big
But to give an example.
I did a project on all the squares.
No, I'm talking about,
What's that square right there by
So you got
Basketball court?
not no, it's right there by Savannah Suites and it's across from it's a restaurant, I can't think of the name of it. Candy Kitchen. Not Sorry Charlie's. It's Candy Kitchen, and then right across from Candy Kitchen is like Belford's.
Savannah.
What is that square right
African
there?
Baptist at?
What is that square right there? Because that shit will give you like it take you in the whole circle, and you read on each plaque. I cannot think of the name of that square right now, but
I'm telling you, because
remember.
type in if you go back and research Savannah around the end of the Civil War.
I think it's Telfair Square.
It might be Telfair.
Might be.
It might be Telfair.
It's one of them.
12.
with
If
the
you
big
go back
monument,
and
it's like a
research
big monument. Goddamn, like where it's talking about the French. It's talking about a lot on that monument.
Like, where you go back and read some of that, they'll tell you what the streets are named now sometimes, so you can really kind of picture the way stuff was happening. How MLK used to be named something different. They was talking about how when there's all kind of stuff. I was amazed at myself. I had to make myself put the phone down because I was supposed to be going back to sleep, but I done started reading stuff that was interesting. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
It's something amazing about MLK. I gotta say this. One of his greatest speeches, and it's not "I Dream a Dream."
His
We
day
get
just
to
passed.
Washington.
Yeah.
We coming for our check.
Yeah.
yeah.
One of his greatest interviews. Dan Rathers did an interview with him in '67. This was right during the time that he was about to come down to go down there to Memphis. One of the things that he talked about was he died in '68, but this was before, right before then, around that time, and he started talking about black equity.
That's why they killed him.
When he started talking about it, he said, "Listen," and you guys can look it up or however you want to. He said, "My dream turned into a nightmare. See, what y'all did do, it was easy for you to give us permission to sit on the front of the bus. It was easier for you to allow us to go and eat in your restaurant. We bring in money. Come on, man. So it's easier for you to do that. We help build your economy even more when you broke those barriers down. But when it came to acquisition in land, when it came to getting those things that you knew would build us up, you refused to give us to, man.
You ain't sharing
in
that.
the 1800s, man, they was giving away millions of acres of land.
Hold on. My fault, Cam. But
Go ahead,
I'm sitting right here looking up the squares. Y'all know they changed the name of a square last August?
What you say?
Calhoun. It's now Taylor Square.
Taylor Square.
Like I never knew that, but I just read that because of his position on slavery, John Calhoun was a slave master.
Yeah.
So they changed the name to Susie B. Taylor Square.
I thought you about to say Susan B. Anthony.
Nah.
Something else I learned that same night I was reading. So I knew he used to be a school in Savannah called Richard Arnold. I never knew Richard Arnold was a mayor of Savannah, basically during the times of the Civil War.
Susie King Taylor, I'm sorry.
He was one of the mayors. Hold on, bro. I'll just put it in the microphone.
All right, go ahead.
So this is my favorite MLK speech right here. And Brotha Ed is basically what you talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Give the land. They built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that,
Not only that.
they provided county agents
That's right.
to further their
All that
expertise and
food farmer
farming.
stuff,
Not
that's
only
it.
that, they provided low interest rates.
Low interest
In
rates.
order that they could
Make it affordable.
mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are
Telling
receiving
you pull yourself up by
millions
the
of dollars in
bootstraps.
federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man
Listen what he say. Listen what he say.
himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with.
Tell him, Martin.
And this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
That's it.
Them crackers had cocked their guns when they heard that shit.
All right. He's learned. Coming to get what? He's on to us now.
Yeah, we gonna get.
He ain't talking about all like Kumbaya stuff.
You can read that, nigga.
He see what we doing with the money.
Yeah.
He see what we doing with the money. Oh, Kumbaya overkill, our nigga.
Listen,
Martin, no math. The hell going on here?
That is so, when I tell you when you start going in the back and you start seeing that, one of the things that helped nullify a lot of that, and that segues into what I became a victim of. I'll be doing a book soon, and it's going to be called "The War on Drugs: The American POW Story."
Write me a book.
It's actually, hey man, do that. Now it's
old
actually
enough.
about the about the crack epidemic. It's about the drug epidemic. You think about that speech probably was right at the end of 67, 68, right before he passed, well, he was assassinated.
Right.
And right around that time, you had Stokely Carmichael and them, you had the Black Panther Party.
Stokely.
You had people that were starting to become what they call woke. You had people that were starting to become woke. So what do I do to a people that is starting to wake up?
Stop the rise of the black
I
Messiah.
will anesthetize them with drugs.
That's crazy.
Dope has always been in our neighborhoods, man. Always, man. I read a book years ago.
Dope, guns.
Yeah, always been in our
Everything
neighborhood.
that we can kill ourselves.
And that's part of what
Yeah.
you talking about. So this is one of the things. A couple of years back, I went on one of our friends. He had a podcast called Under the Do Rag, and that was like two of the things you just mentioned are three of the pillars that I felt like not killed, but are the reason you can look at that and see where we are now. Is if you look at that, you'll see, like you say, so crack in the 80s.
Yep.
Heroin
in the 70s.
Heroin in the
Heroin
70s. Most don't
Dog
talk about
food.
that. Gentrification, for sure,
Rollo.
because gentrification was a multifaceted thing. It wasn't just us saying you got to live here. We were saying not only do you have to live here, the same way Martin Luther King said in that.
You gotta stay right here.
You can't come.
Banks was saying you got to stay there, and we going. So while we giving the white people loans on 1% loans,
Yeah.
we're giving y'all 12,
13,
15% loans.
15%.
Yeah, so you getting
pay
the
us
same
back.
money, but we
Yeah,
don't
for
have
the
to pay me
rest-
back.
Right.
Interest rate.
Interest,
All
yeah.
that, and that's what he was saying. Like they
That makes
giving
sense.
them these loans with these low interest rates.
That makes
That's
sense.
right.
That makes sense.
So they ain't paying back what we paying back. Like
Understanding start coming in.
That's what,
Comprehension,
that's,
right.
That's where
Right.
the understanding starts coming
Right.
because now you know the destination that they're trying to
Right.
push you towards.
Right.
So you think about how the transition happened. This is a true fact of how systematically, because you got like my sister Candace Owens.
oh Lord
I just
Jesus.
she's shot
Jesus
out.
Christ, help
Anyway,
her.
with some of the things that or Nikki Haley what about Civil War? And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, but here's the thing:
Two wings on the same.
when you start thinking about how this system has been set up and designed for you to lose, they work hand in hand. Listen, Nixon had a White House counsel guy. His name was Ecklenburg. Ecklenburg wrote in an article at Harper's Magazine in 1994. The article talked about the Nixon regime and how they viewed drugs in the inner cities. First of all, they associated heroin with black folks because they couldn't tell you they was against black folks. They couldn't tell you that they
Had
was
to link
anti-war
something to 'em
because
first,
they had to
right.
link. So with the white hippies, they linked the
weed.
weed with them. So this was their thing. What they did was they talked about it every evening on the evening news so that they
Scare,
could vilify
yeah.
the people of that time
masses,
and
right.
go in, get those leaders without any repercussions.
What year Nancy Reagan made that just say no shit?
Oh, she made that in 1980. God,
Old
dog, was
bitch.
it 86 that she did that? I want to say it was 86 that she
Dog
did that. I think she did that because we laughed when she did it. We laughed when she did it because we
Like, they
knew
be
how
getting
much
high
dope
right
was in
now.
No, I'm saying, because we our hands in it. Yeah, I just changed that. Just say no.
Nigga, see that shit.
What?
Tell her no, come to my door.
Come to my door. I got you.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So it's and if you look at this article, man, and how they systematically did this. It was a movie, Claudine. It was Diane Carroll and my man, James Earl Jones.
Damn.
Okay.
It was about a poor family that she was a welfare mom. She had a bunch of kids. Listen now, this is how the system works. She was a welfare mom. She had a bunch of kids, but see, he was a garbage man. And I believe they staged this one that was in Chicago. So what happened was when the welfare lady used to come, they used to have to put up everything. Hide the TVs. You know what I mean? I promise you, if you ever Google or read the movie, you'll be like, man, get out of here, man. It's crazy.
What's it called?
It was called Claudine. And what wound up happening was my man that played Coach Cheese in Cooley High. Yeah, he's in the movie. That's my dude. Man. Yeah, that was my favorite. That's one of my all-time favorites. But he played, and it's crazy because he said that he wanted to get a vasectomy in the movie. Now, mind you, they want to emasculate any black man that has any type of forward movement. He did that because he saw what his mom was going through, that it wasn't no man in the house, that the man, even when he wanted to take upon his family, he couldn't take upon his family because the financial obligation was going to be too high. So guess what? That leads us back to that William Lynch thing about trusting the slave master. So when you sit there and I'm the government, I'm going to pay. I used to hear girls say this when I was a kid. This is in the 70s now. Girl, child, boy, I'm gonna get me a baby like such and such because they're gonna give me some more money on my check.
Oh my!
I promise you that was the mentality.
What about the kids?
That was the mentality. The mentality was I'm gonna get me another baby,
but you know,
because I can get a better check.
But you know what's crazy, and I think I'm
still going on today.
We not say not only that, but it's worse.
Right, worse.
Bro, one of the things I'm learning with working in the community, cause these people
find me a fat bitch.
It's basically any label you put on your child.
You get a check for it.
Any label, ADD, ADHD. Oh, you know, bro, all that stuff they give you. So once I started seeing, I'm like, bro, they literally paying us to stay subservient, like paying people to not try to do better.
Right?
They want you to think, oh, this little money I'm throwing you, like, bro, you smart enough and got the capabilities of making way more than that, but because you don't have to do nothing for it, it's easy.
Right.
It's easy.
You're okay with that.
Man, listen, the word economy.
That's human nature.
You know what you need to run an economy. It's about customer and customer goods.
Somebody gotta buy it.
People to run
You
gotta have a consumer.
You need a producer.
You gotta have a consumer to have an economy.
You need a producer.
And I think that's why everybody today saying we need to keep the dollars within the community because if we gonna spend it, might as well spend it with a nigga you know.
Right. That's right.
I mean, that's what they used to call it.
Well, spend with me if you gonna take it next door.
Come on, man.
Pop it.
Come on, man.
That rhyme.
So I mean, so we can stay on this topic
all
day. We gonna pivot just a little bit because we'll be here. We'd already been going 52 minutes, so So, Brother Ed, like I said, man, one of the reasons I really love talking to you is because I enjoy thought-provoking conversations, but I also enjoy talking to people that can see things from many different lenses. Because, I consider myself one of those people, like, it just is what it is. You know, I see things from many different ways. So, you from time to time, you send me what you need. You know, we're going to give you a chance to shout that out at the end. So, you can start getting that out to more folks. But every now and then, man, you send me a video clip, or basically your messages that you put out on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And the last one you sent me a couple weeks ago, you were talking about, you basically talking about some things that we talking about the same episode, which is basically the truth. You know, the truth. We like to say truth ain't hard to tell, but at the same time, man, a lot of people just don't like the truth, right? Because while it ain't hard to tell, everybody don't want you to tell it. You know what I'm saying?
Be ready to be the villain if you got the truth on you.
The truth is, and so you said some stuff in that video. I didn't share with them, and that's on me.
Okay.
Some of the things you were saying in that video.
Yeah, you ain't shit.
I take that. That's on me.
You ain't shit.
I take that. But some of the things that you were talking about in that video is just one. You mentioned how one of the things that ministers and pastors like to lead with is basically they'll get up in the pulpit and tell people not to talk about
them.
That's it. Forget the wrong you see me do. What your parents tell you younger? Do as I say.
Do as I say. Don't do as I do.
Like
I already seen you do it though.
Any sense,
I saw you do it already.
How am I learning from you And you. So anyway, I'm gonna let you expand on that. So I want you to talk about that a little bit because all of us, most of us have grew up in the church. Or at least all of us got a grandma or something in the church. You know me personally, so you know how I'm in the church. But that's an interesting thing you said because I too have watched pastors say that and thought to myself, now you the pastor, but you still a man. You a regular man at the end of the day. Right. So why is it that you feel like you? Why is it that you feel like you exempt from people having opinions about the crazy things you do?
Right.
But you can have an opinion about
what I do.
Now that's
not fair.
So I want you to talk about that a little bit because I thought that was really, really interesting, man.
So I'm gonna expound on that and, because it's happened to me. And when people start talking about church hurt or they start talking about what pastors say, the first thing they're gonna do, even when they did with this William Murphy thing, what they did with TD Jakes, a couple of those pastors, man. Well, y'all better not touch thy anointed and do thy prophet no harm.
We going there.
Because the first thing that they say when they say that is that's to justify whatever behavior they've done.
You can't do what I do.
You can't do what I do. Now
I don't want to be swallowed up, first of all. TD Jakes, I'm just putting it out.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever want to be swallowed up? Do what you do.
No, I ain't been swallowed.
Where your blessings are just swallowing you. Hey, no, I ain't never been swallowed.
I guarantee you.
Not a bit.
75% of black community saying what you just said. Like, you know what? It was always something about that nigga.
Listen, please go. And it's crazy because that's true.
Yeah.
So because when you start seeing that, but now I got to touch on this. When a man makes an allegation against another man, boy, I'm telling you, man, there's some truth to that.
Talk about that.
I mean, because that's not normal for us.
Right. Talk about that.
You feel what I'm saying? I mean, that's not one of them
stuff.
It's true. Like if it's a woman. Yeah, okay, maybe not. Yeah. Maybe you did, but a dude,
I ain't got no reason to lie on you, my boy.
Why is he saying that? Right. Why is he saying
that? He gotta be
like, bro, like,
come up with that.
Like, even if it ain't true, it's some trueness to it, because he's not just gonna come out the blue. Even if you was just in the wrong place at the wrong time,
I was talking about something, guys.
I caught you.
It's crazy.
Right there with you on that.
You're caught red-handed, brother.
Go ahead, Ed.
You gonna have to explain, goddamn.
So what they were talking about when they started talking about that, they actually got that scripture from a group of scripture. It's in First Chronicles 20. I actually, when I did give the teaching, I gave the exact scriptures, and it's also in Psalms.
You did a good job too. You did a real good job.
Thank y'all, appreciate it. Thank God. But the thing about it was, first of all, that scripture has nothing to do with you having a disagreement with your pastor.
Come on, man.
That scripture is talking about David. David has started. He sung a song. Here's the thing. Right in the first verse, it tells you his chief musician, Asaph, was the one that started and created this song that they were singing of Thanksgiving because the Ark of the Covenant had just got back to the city of David. They just got it back from Ethiopia.
You want to tell them what the Ark of the Covenant is, or you want to?
Yeah, we'll elaborate because the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was a group of laws that was passed down from Moses. That's where the laws actually went into, was the Ark of the Covenant. Ark of the Covenant was built at certain specifications. You have some theologians that says that was a power source, and I believe it was a power source because of the way that they had to design it.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you on that one. That's just because I have a capacity to think.
Everything is for a reason.
Everything is for a reason. So when you start talking about this in particular, when they start talking about this group of scriptures, he's just explaining how thankful he is that they brought him through the wilderness. How when they fought against kings, when they fought against the kingdoms with the other nations, he was thanking. Then it goes into saying, touch not thy, by you saying this, Lord, touch not thy anointed and do thy prophet no harm. The first and most important thing is that everybody that was under the covenant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were considered anointed. You're considered anointed if you're a believer. That's his anointed ones. He didn't say anointed singular. He said it plural. So it means a group of folks.
Exactly.
The reason why he said something about the prophets and doing them no harm is because they're the messengers. So they're going to be the first person that goes to the king to say, hey, man, you can't touch them. That's why he says, don't do them no harm, but don't touch my anointed ones either. So this conversation that these pastors, when they try to guilt shame you into believing that you ain't supposed to say something, that's not true.
Right.
You a human being, bro.
You a human being. You have a right to say something.
Flawed.
Yeah, I heard anything that try to take away your questionability,
It's a trick.
it's a trick.
It's a trick.
If you can't ask questions,
If I'm not
don't
gonna
trust that.
I don't trust people who don't question anything.
You're right.
Like, you fall for any motherfucker.
Anything?
I can't.
So you gonna never question it?
I can't fault him though, because I grew up naive. Like as a kid, you just grow up thinking the sky's blue, grass is green.
Black parents do that job. We just say, do as I say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do as I say, do as I do.
That's a fact.
Like they see everything
As is, yeah. Facts.
I've always said,
Facts.
children are born their natural self. Like we are born, we are.
Yes.
Naturally. Like
You have a good heart.
nobody gotta teach you to be you. You gonna do you naturally.
Natural.
Nobody ever teach you. You will naturally do
What you think.
What your mind says do.
Yeah.
But like he said, like we said, and like he said, like
Your environment, your teachings.
you get taught and you learn. Okay, this is how you should do it. This is how you should do it. Don't necessarily mean that's right.
Right.
But it's what you taught.
But that's what you taught. And you taught to say, like I've heard parents say, you ain't supposed to question God. That's a lie. How you gonna find out the answer if you don't question?
If you don't
it?
question.
My brother died. I ain't did nothing but question God.
That
My
means-
brother died. I ain't did nothing but question God.
Listen,
Like, why?
hey,
You can't help but ask why. Like he ain't do nothing to nobody.
you gotta have understanding.
I don't
man.
understand. Right? I don't understand this.
If I don't question the source, how am I gonna get an answer?
And I've learned that God actually don't. I've learned, and it's just me. God don't, because when I pray, I ask the Lord plenty of questions.
Plenty of questions.
Because I'm trying
Clarity.
to understand.
Yeah.
Lord, I know certain things I ain't gonna understand, but I want to know why this happened.
God.
I would
That's
like
right.
to know where am I going? Where you taking me with this, Lord?
Right.
Listen, and you know you're not out of pocket by doing that, because guess what? Every prophet that you'll read about question God. Every one of them question it. At some point.
My finite mind cannot help but wonder.
Yeah.
Where
Our grandma's definitely gonna watch.
are we going with this?
Our grandma ain't gonna watch this one. Boy, you doing what? Questioning.
Because I'm telling you, man, it's so controversial because I'm not. It's just like somebody had told me before. They was asking me about when you walk in the room, people are supposed to know. When I walk in the room, my presence is going to be my presence.
Exactly.
So I know that I'm shielded within myself.
Exactly.
If you don't shift the atmosphere, then that means that
You gotta come in loud.
Well, guess what?
Slinging oil on folks, man.
I ain't about to do that to you.
I ain't gotta do all that.
Listen,
Smacking niggas with the Bible. I ain't gotta
Hey,
do all that.
while I'm in this dirt suit, because this is a dirt suit. Because
You
it's
did
going
say
to
that
perish.
earlier.
So while I'm in this dirt suit, guess what? Whatever I do in this dirt suit is going to pay for whatever it's done.
Describe
in
what
this
that
dirt
means.
suit.
Right.
So if
Describe what
I
that means to
choose
younger
not
people.
to do certain things, somebody asked me to say, well, why don't you drink? And I could tell you biblically,
Communion.
there's nothing wrong with you drinking.
He said,
Biblically.
don't drink to be drunk.
Don't drink to be a drunk. But see, I'm going to tell you why I don't drink. Has nothing to do with, I'm allergic to it, y'all.
Damn.
Guess what I break out in?
With vegan
Hey, man.
tequila.
No.
Vegan tequila.
No, guess what I break out in? Handcuffs. You feel me? So, hey, I know my limit.
nigga.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's wise.
I break out a hand because
Shit is wise beyond.
Stay away from that.
So I stay away from it.
That nigga-
That's me
So,
and gin. I've learned to stay away from gin for
That nigga applied knowledge and wisdom.
I've learned to stay away from gin.
I break out with
Because it's
kids.
the understanding for you.
I break out with kids.
No,
lying.
so my allergy is that. So if I don't, that's why I stay
You
away
said you
from
break
it.
out a
He
kid.
said he break out a kid. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta learn yourself.
I hate this
You gotta learn yourself.
You know what? No drinking after y'all.
I commend him because
Take that
how
back.
many times we done got trying to get this nigga drink?
No
right?
cap.
He don't drink.
No cap.
He don't drink.
Yeah, he won't drink.
He don't drink.
Yes, he said he won't drink.
He don't drink.
Don't give a damn what the
No,
situation
He
is.
won't drink.
I'm
I don't
on
want that. You know what I mean?
He won't do it.
Man said 2 and
wasn't
done.
at
I'm out my sophomore year.
I got a whole reason to look at every morning because of that.
2 and done is crazy.
God darn it.
Every morning, I get a daddy.
Yep.
Super sophomore.
Add another one. But nah, so the reason I wanted to bring that up,
To the
just to
draft
reel us back in, is because, man, so, I mean, it's 4 of us on here, Ed.
That's
and
right,
like I said, we all got different upbringings, different backgrounds, and all of us are familiar with Christ, but we all have different opinions on religion and spirituality.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of the reasons, like I said, man, I really, really love you, man, is because you encompass all of that. Like, those ideologies that might take you away from Christ, but you also encompass the ones that make you realize, like, nah,
You still
like,
need them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't, I understand what y'all saying.
Right.
But
Yeah. You gotta be realistic.
Get God in your life.
You gotta be realistic. Hey, I tell you what's crazy, man. I did a research on the Battle of Jericho. Right?
Yeah.
And it's real interesting the way that this happened. I had a couple of different other resources for it. But you remember the Battle of Jericho, if anybody. But what I learned when I was younger, I used to really think that the walls came tumbling down. Because it was a song too. The walls of Jericho tumbling down. I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, this is incredible, man. So you mean to tell me that God tumbled the walls down? So then when I started doing my research and I started really reading in the book. Really reading in the book.
I want you to do that.
So I said, wait a minute. Joshua and them wasn't no punks, right? Like, they was real thorough. You got to think about this now. These jokers fought 4 different kings. Hymns.
All them hymns.
Many nations. Remember, we talking about when they were celebrating during David's time about what they did back then. So you're talking about these dudes was battle tested, battle proven. They had that work. So now,
I know what you mean.
You done heard about these cats, and you had an outpost. Now, I had to do my research on Jericho. Jericho was the only reason Jericho had high walls is because they never excavated. They never tore down the wall. They would just build on top of stuff. That's why their walls were so tall, because they was just building on top of stuff.
And if the walls came down, it's because of poor structure, a poor foundation.
But it wasn't. That wasn't even it. You know what I realized? That wasn't even the thing. What wound up happening was, you think about it, they come over. It's 250,000 of them now. Jericho only had at the most 5,000 people in that city. It was an outpost. You got to remember that this was the first city that you was going to come to once you crossed the Jordan. So they was an outpost for the rest of the Canaan. For the rest of that land, they was the ones that was going to send word to them other folks, hey, yo, these jokers is coming. But you think about what's happening. Okay, so now they covering the wall. So they got guard duty up. The children of Israel, they walking through. You got 6 days. They silent walking through. You got jokers up there on guard duty. Now, we got to humanize this thing. I'm on guard duty. These jokers, the only thing they doing is walking around. Man, I'm sleepy. Yo, hey, Cam, look, man. Hey, man.
Watch this for me.
Man, I'm sick, man. Look, man, I'm about to go to the bathroom,
catch me a little 15, 20.
Yeah. Hey, man, just watch these cats. They ain't doing nothing. All they doing is walking around. And they silent. But mind you got to remember,
Passing the buck.
before all this happened, they sent some spies over there. Here go the significance.
Always the man on the inside.
They sent some spies over there. They sent them to Rahab's house. Why they sent them to Rahab's house? Her house was the most accessible to the city.
She got
the women will be
your
the
downfall. Listen, they was the most successful to the city, and they was at the lowest point of the city too. So any city official, any city councilman, they was gonna go to that whole house because they do pillow talk. You feel what I'm saying? They do pillow talk. I mean, it's true. They do pillow talk. So I'm in the right spot.
Go ahead.
And the indicator that I left at her window was a red string. Now, mind you, I left a red scarlet string that you could see from the outside of the city. I'm walking around the city solid. I know where your guards at. Ain't no cameras, so you got blind spots. Your blind spots is allowing me to do this. It's 250,000 people. Are you going to notice 10 people slip through every time that they walked around?
Nah.
So every time they walked around, somebody slipped through right to where they needed to go because they had the indicator.
Infiltrated, like crazy.
Right with it. You got to remember, these is men of war.
Come on, man.
Okay, boom. On the 7th day, this is my signal, because by the 7th day, I've already moved in position where I'm going to take over the gate of the city. The 7th day, when they blew the shofar, they said that the walls came down, but they're not talking about the entire walls of the city. They're talking about the gate. The only way you're going to get through a city is the main gate. If the walls fall down, then everybody in Rahab's house would die. Because she lived in the city. You got to remember how the architect was back in the day. There was people that lived in the walls of the cities of some of these cities because the walls were wide enough that you could have an apartment in there. So that's the way that they was able to get through. So a lot of times when we start reading stuff and you don't really do no research on it, and it makes it seem like, is it a miracle? Absolutely. Was it ordained by God? Absolutely. I believe that. But I also know logically this is what happened. It was some work that went into it. It ain't magically happened. This ain't blue stars, green clovers, and purple diamonds. No, this ain't no magically delicious type thing. This, you got
Lucky Charms.
This ain't no magically delicious.
You feel me? So you got you gotta know You gotta know, man. Every idle word, everything that we say, we're responsible for. Because even NASA did an experiment where you speak words. You know they still do radio waves and send them out of space. There's such thing as a first, second, and third heaven. That's a real thing.
People do studies where they talk to plants, and you can just see the difference in when you speak positively to your plants. And I mean, obviously, water them and give them the other nutrients.
We're doing the same thing to the other one.
But on top, you can do all of that and not be encouraging them plants, not speaking positively to them plants, and like you say, like they won't perk up.
Nope.
But letting them know, man, y'all good plants, y'all beautiful plants, man, y'all doing great.
Affirmation.
Bro, they are alive. They are alive. Like they might not have ears, but they can receive
that energy.
What you're saying, what you're sending out, like they can pick up on that. And same way human beings, when you down talking to human and they shoulders drop, they face change, like plants ain't no difference. This is a living being. When you down talking or you put stuff in it that they can't use, it's gonna shriek. But you build something up, it's gonna swell up. You know what I'm saying? Same way you talking to a man and you building them up, nigga chest come out. Yeah, boy. I feel like, boy,
I did cut that grass.
I'm ready, boy.
I'm ready for it,
boy. I'm proud of that. Like it's really the same thing. So
yeah, it's incredible, man. So you know, speaking life into something.
Come on, man.
So you saying we need logic and spirituality?
Yeah. You need logic and spirituality.
You're not going to survive just off one.
No, don't, because you'll have a debate. Well, what's the difference between spirituality, the word,
and religion?
This is my opinion on spirituality. Spirituality, you can't prove
right, my boy,
spirituality, but it's personal evidence. That's why I feel like one of the things in church, one of the best things, one of the things that I do like about the church that I go to, Temple of Glory, my bishop, who ain't a perfect man, but is a good man, a just man, has always stressed, man, never mind what I get up on this pulpit and preach. Build a relationship with Christ for yourself. Learn the Bible for yourself. Forget what I'm telling you. Learn it for yourself.
That's right.
Learn it for you.
Because you can't take your experiences he's talking about.
Don't take what I'm telling you for everything. Learn it for yourself. And that way you can question me. You can make your own decisions. You can form your own relationship with Christ, because it's not first of all, religion, bro, is man-made. Religion ain't.
That's right.
Religion is nothing. Okay, I don't feel bad for saying that, because religion is 100% man-made and man-influenced.
100%.
It gives you a group to go to.
100%.
A title. Yeah.
Spirituality, can't nobody tell you about your spiritual connection with something else, bro. That's a very intimate and personal thing. Can't nobody tell you about that. I don't care what the book we all read say. Can't nobody tell you about what the Lord.
That's just like when Finn said he was a God. Like, if you don't look at yourself like that, I'm not here to tell you you are or you not. Right.
If the Lord has empowered you so much to feel like, bro, you are not, like he said, I'm not the God. That man said, I'm not the God. I don't think I'm the God. But I feel like I am a God within my right. I can't tell you.
The image of God.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you, because this might shock some folks when they say it. I know I have God that dwells in me. I am a God. I am a God. I am a God whom, when I say that I'm his reflection, I'm his reflection.
Come on.
The throne that the Holy Spirit sits on is me.
Come on.
That's my temple. It's in the word. It's shared. It's that's where he sits.
A lot of people don't realize, bro. So we talk about this. And again, shout out to Bishop. Bishop preached about this one day. Like, man, he asked the church, the congregation, how many of y'all would even like Jesus if Jesus was alive today? Because Jesus didn't do what most of y'all do.
No.
Jesus hung around folks that most of y'all look at and turn your nose up at.
Man.
Jesus went to places where, again, y'all ain't going there.
Man ain't going there with them folks.
And
that's what he was. That's what Jesus was at.
You look at him the same way, probably.
Listen, the funniest thing about I did this one time before, man. I was talking about Christ and how
Jesus wasn't married.
He wasn't married. So I'm gonna tell you now, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, this order came about during Moses' time, when Jethro told him he needed to get elders in order to take care of these folks. Hey man, look man, these too many. You need some elders.
Right.
So when they formed this clique, the Sanhedrin has been around for a long period of time. Well, they had two different philosophies, and they're related to the same political parties that you see today. One was a common amongst the people. They did what the people wanted to do. So they invoked Hellenism. They did believe in the resurrection. These are Pharisees now. They were more common. They were more common amongst the folks. Now the Sadducees was more conservative. So they did not believe in the resurrection. Was legalistics. They were sticklers on law. Republican, Democratic Party. But the one thing that both of them agreed on was this Jesus character, Yahshua. Yo, we got to get rid of this dude because he messing up our money. Yo, he messing up our money. And even the religious leaders at the time. What the second
name was you called it?
Yahshua. Oh, okay. Yahshua. Yeah, because that's his true name.
Okay.
You know, because when you start reading the Aramaic and stuff like that, that's his true name.
See?
I mean, because you know,
that nigga's different. But I know
man.
So we gotta wrap it up, man.
Free him now.
Free Joshua, man.
So, man, I don't want to turn it loose, Brother Ed, but you got to come back, man. You got to come back.
Okay, I will, brother. I will.
You know, man, this was a great conversation.
I appreciate it.
About an hour 15, so we gonna turn it loose. I know your family outside looking like, man.
I know. Hey, look. Hey, wait a minute. Man, my phone now tinged about 4 or 5 times. I'm sitting here like, hey, 15 minutes.
You gonna leave? At least we bring you home in a minute.
I know, right?
You know I got you, brother. That's what we gotta do, man.
Oh no, you good? Listen, I could have drove, but I should have drove.
I appreciate you for pulling up.
Yes, sir.
Everything that it went how I thought it was gonna go, man. Cause like I said, bro, you a gem, bro. I'm telling you this publicly, but you the kind of person that
black man spotlight
that the black community today needs because you understand both sides of the fence. You understand the spiritual side, you understand the secular side, you understand I was young side, now I'm old, I done lived and learned. I'm not judging y'all because, bro, I've been with y'all that. Like, bro, you understand that, and I appreciate talking to you for that.
True
for
OG.
that reason, for real.
My last question for you, and we ask all our guests this: what does the Pope mean to you?
Savannah. What's Savannah mean? Yeah.
Welcome to the Potecast.
I want to hear this from you, being that you're from Jersey.
What the seaport means to me, man, is mass opportunity.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
This is a thriving and economy state, man. Logistically, man, this is probably one of the best positions that you could ever be at
ports in the country.
in this part of the country. You are the hub to everything in this country. Most companies, now y'all probably is going to get, not Glock yet, but y'all going to get Beretta.
He just died, so they coming.
Yeah, they coming. So when I tell you that the opportunities that are here in the seaport, in this area, man, they're insurmountable, man. If you can get your foot in now and grow, man, because it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
Saying that, man. I'm glad somebody older than us is here to say, no, I'm like I said, but no, we've been saying that though, because like you said, man, so you got the ports, you got truck driving, warehouses now, all this is literally warehouses being thrown up every other week in Chatham County. So like you said, logistics, hospitality, and healthcare. You know, this is the three biggest industries in Savannah. But man, like you said, like, bro, there's opportunity, and I'm glad you said that because you are not from here, so but you've been here long enough to be from here. But I'm glad you said that because we hear people that are from here all the time talking about how it ain't no opportunities. There's no, bruh.
Right?
Are you crazy?
Listen,
open your eyes.
You want to know why most of the companies want to move? Logistically now, because I work for GP.
Right, okay.
And I can tell you about how we move customer goods. This is the area where if you're in the middle of the state, you can only get a certain amount of tonnage to get through there. Like you can't drive on the road with a certain amount of tonnage.
Southeast, brother, the real stuff is moving through Savannah.
Through Savannah.
It's moving through Savannah.
So if let's say you up in the Atlanta area, it's going to take you long, and your truck's got to be lighter. Guess what happens in this area? From this area all the way down to Brunswick, the trucks can be as heavy as the capacity it needs to be at because the ports are so close.
Right.
And you don't get charged the extra money.
Opportunity.
Yeah, so most companies is going to go for it. Most companies got to go for it.
Come on, man. They losing money if they don't.
They losing money if they don't.
Yeah.
So why not? Hey, man, I'm gonna plant my tent here. This is where I want to be at.
Chill here for us.
Home base.
Yeah. Everybody's going to, and most this city is going to be blessed in a major way because of it. If you get on where you get on now, you'll be straight.
Hyundai is not building a plant in this region for no reason. Okay?
Come on, man.
if Hyundai is $1 billion corporation, and we already have $1 billion corporations here.
Yep.
They didn't come here for no reason. They come here because they saw the opportunity for growth and expansion to make plenty of money. So if somebody is already rich, sees the opportunity for money. Somebody that's not rich should certainly understand. Oh,
Facts.
I can make plenty.
Facts.
I don't have to get rich. I can make enough money to make sure my children,
That's
my
right.
wife, me,
That's it.
don't have to work the
That's
next,
it.
duration of our years. My children can go to school. I can pay for my kids to go to college. If they don't want to go to college, I can pay for them to take certifications and learn things before they graduate.
That's right.
To get these skills and
Early.
knowledge like we talked about before you 18, 19,
That's it.
20 years
That's it.
old. Man, Savannah is full of opportunity, and like I said, Ed, I'm glad you said that because when I travel, bro, I talk to folks. I talk to folks.
I gotta leave Savannah. I gotta go.
Right. Yeah, that's
It's not our skin color.
Yeah,
The first
yeah,
thing
that's
they
right.
say when they hear you from Savannah, oh my God, I love Savannah.
I love Savannah.
I love Savannah.
Absolutely.
The drinking,
They love it. Now, why do they
Call a
love it?
cab.
and we
They
hate
got
it.
all this stuff, resources, money, knowledge, and we do too.
That's right.
But they got more. I ain't gonna front. I feel like certain cultures and communities have more wisdom than we do.
Well, they have more unity.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah,
They use it more.
unity.
They use it more.
Yeah, they use
come
it more.
together and use it more. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right because I can't say that we don't. We got
Right.
plenty wisdom.
It's there.
Yeah, plenty of wisdom.
Gotta share it.
Yeah.
Plenty of wisdom, but the application.
Yeah, that's it.
Wisdom is in the application.
That's right.
Knowledge is the awareness. Wisdom is the
That's right.
application.
That's right.
So on that note, man.
Shout out anything, your website.
Ed,
Man, yeah, let me shout out, man. KWUnow.com is the actual website on the internet. You can check us out, man. We got mad product, man. You can also check us out on TikTok at KWU338. You also can check us out on Instagram at KWUnow.
Come on, man.
You can check us out on YouTube at KWU.com.
Hey,
man, listen, we love y'all,
messages, man. They be
we love you.
short.
Yeah.
They be short. 10, 12 minutes.
Oh yeah, you done tapped in to
You
the younger
good.
version.
Yeah.
Nah, they ain't gonna listen to that. 10, 12
man,
minutes. That ain't
12 minutes. How many of y'all hate being in church for hours?
Woo, boy.
nothing. Get your message right
The
there.
new church is right here.
That's it. That's it.
The
Oh,
new church is
man.
right here.
Man.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro. This
Like and
man,
subscribe to the
wanna hear what he
page.
got to say, my brother.
Like and
I
subscribe to
appreciate
that
Thank you,
man
bro.
page for
man.
sure.
You know I love you, man. I appreciate
Love
you
you,
pulling
man.
up, brother. For real.
Appreciate you, yes sir.
We out.
All right.
Pull up, send them cash apps, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. These cats is doing it now.
Send them cash apps.
We out.